for Universuary after the A-Team extra finished. Let's take a look at three Van Damme movies today, tomorrow, and Tuesday. Street Fighter, released in 1994, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme as Colonel Guile and Raul Julia as General M. Bison in his final role before passing 2 months before it came out. And this is supposed to be based on Street Fighter 2, which is interesting considering a true Street Fighter adaptation came out the same year. So in this film, it's about Miss M. Bison wants to take over the world, but also makes his own city and money and corporation, I guess. But Colonel Guile has a mission to stop M. Bison before any of this could happen. And and other characters are coming, or working, or being on the side, like Ryu and Ken, who during their time in prison, they were serving as spies for now to spy on and Bison and his henchmen. And Chun-Li is a reporter who's also a martial arts spy who wants to hunt down M. Bison. And she has two friends, Honda and Borag, which is a weird choice to be a good guy, considering that he's one of the bosses of the games. So, and then in the climax, they all teamed up to stop M. Bison and his henchmen and save the hostages that were kidnapped throughout the entire movie. I think this film is, before I give my final thoughts on it, I'll give it what I like, and that was the good part is that I really am appreciating that they at least have what the feel, what the characters look like in the games, because they gave the characters costumes that resemble the ones from the games. Even Colonel Guile, though, even though his colors of his military outfit is different, it does still has a feel of Guile still, and so does God, her name, but she's played by an Australian singer, by the way. Cammy. Chun-Li is also has very cool costume still. Even though it's red compared to blue, it's still pretty decent and does resemble the character from the games. And I thought Mina Wen did a very good job as the character. And I thought Ryu and Ken, well, they're now awesome and in the games. I think they're kind of okay, because they're not they're supporting characters more so than main characters, even though they serve a lot in the plot, they're spies for Guile to spy on them, Bison, like I said. And the outfits they give to them is still looks legit and does resemble the other characters, with the exception of the red headband that Ryu has. But I thought their final moves on Vega and Zagat and the climax was pretty boring, like boring versions of the Hadouken, Shoryuken, I want Hadouken. They're just done in a boring way. I heard that the director said that he wants to ignore the power moves. That's why there's no Sonic Boom in the movie. But it also kind of doesn't make sense, because during the final battle in the round 2 of Guile and versus Bison, Bison gets lightning powers, and he tries to kick Guile's butt until Guile defeats him in a massive explosion. I thought the choice to have Charlie as Blanca, who's the monster that has shocking powers, was a weird choice because he doesn't do much in the movie, even though he has a lot of moments in there where he's like an experiment for Bison, but he doesn't do much in terms of his character that much to me. Zangief as a villain is kind of makes no sense because when he gets redeemed because he realized, oh my gosh, Bison is a bad guy this whole time. That's so weird because how could he not feel like there's was something wrong with Bison? Like he's doing some bad stuff. How did he not realize that he was already a bad guy? That's kind of stupid. Um, I honestly kind of don't like the martial arts fight scenes are pretty cool to be honest. Like the even though they're not like Street Fighter esque fights since they're not fighting outside, except for the prison one. But they're kicking and punching are pretty awesome to watch, especially during a PG-13 video game movie. It's a pretty cool action sequences to be honest. Even some of the war based fights are still pretty cool. And I thought the guy's speech was kind of a little weird, where it says, "We can all go home, but I am not going home. I'm gonna kick and Bison and save the world. Now who wants to go home? And who wants to go with me?" That's not how Van Damme sounds, but whatever. Um, but I don't like the Universal moment where like the Universal logo turns into like a Street Fighter movie logo. That's kind of creative. And I thought, just to end this, my final thoughts, Roger did an amazing job as M. Bison. He's a little over top, but I can still feel like he was trying to have his best in his final day since, like I said, 2 months before it came out, he passed away from cancer. So it was a very interesting performance, good send off to his career. Um, but yeah. So and by the way, there's also video game versions of this movie, which is kind of interesting. Um, so yeah, that's my final thoughts on the Street Fighter 1994 movie. Kind of a meh movie. At least that's one of the worst movies. And it kind of still like one of the most not so good movies. It's a good time to watch, but it's not like a great movie to watch. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the 1994 film adaptation of Street Fighter. Really wonder how legendary pictures are gonna pull off with the franchise.